In this era of fast food and instant gratification, the latest jobs actually require the kind of people with well-rounded personality. They're looking for people who can create impressions at the first sight. Of course, it's about inside out. You have to be strong from inside, project it correctly from outside. Image consultants in the industry today have the potential to create these desired changes. In fact, the good news is that multiple corporates and individuals are hiring our image consultants for these desired changes in the spectrum of the employees who are there in their organizations. If I look at a little market survey here with Indian urban population, which is about 32%, which is whopping 44 crores, requires about 6,000 image consultants to handle the kind of market we have, which is about 624 crore market, and we have a mere 1600 number. The economic indices actually indicate that this industry is on a boom. A very good evening to each one of you. I'm Kavita Bhalla, and today I have two accomplished image consultants who are doing extremely well and actually carry a mark of being one of the most senior-most image consultants in the industry today. They have created a mark which is an indelible mark in the industry, and of course, on my right we have Samira Gupta, on my left we have Miss Renu Mehra. Let me introduce both of them. So Renu started her career as a consultant in the fashion industry, correct?
Right. Yes.
She started her career there, in fact, to the extent that she became a fashion influence not only in India but also Middle East and Southeast Asia. Decided to diversify one fine day to bigger arena of life skill services, and since then there is no looking back. She actually, with the kind of evolution throughout the years, has reached a stage where she is a brand and a lifestyle guru herself. Latest appointment which I should talk about is she's been appointed as the IMPA president of Delhi chapter. IMPA, when I say, it is Image Management Professional Association, made by our image consultants. So she's heading the Delhi chapter now. So her forte being handling complete corporate sector, to individuals to even homemakers. She's making a mark there. Talking about Miss Samira, 24 years of corporate experience, a corporate leader here. I envy her pay packet, which she talks about, by the way, and that's the kind of package she left and decided to diversify. In fact, both of them, when they decided to diversify into a new arena, which was into life skills sector, decided to get certified by ICBI, and that's how the journey started. Samira, of course, a specialist, though she has her forte on the corporate houses, the BFSI sector, retail, hospitality, talk about it, but I actually call her as real estate specialist, right? That's what her marks are. And yes, the latest feather in her cap is the TEDx talk, which she did recently on how to create the first impressions. Beautiful. I can just go on, and let me tell you, friends, it is really intimidating to sit next to these icons next to me of the industry. Without wasting too much of time, let's go on with certain questions. Let's hear from them how beautiful their journey has been, and let them share their experiences. So, all right, welcome both of you.
Thank you. And first of all, thank you so much for saying such beautiful things about us. Thank you, Kavita.
Thank you. You know, when I look back, of course, it was a very, very important decision to take a step away from being a consultant in the fashion industry. You took a step, and tell me, both of you, how did you decide to get into the image consulting field?
Well, it was an advertisement one day in a daily newspaper, and I somehow lingered on that advertisement, and I was wondering why. Because I was a successful businesswoman with a family and growing up children, a very supportive husband. Why am I looking at this? But I really needed to take the next step, because all around me I was seeing people who were educated, but they were unemployable, and I really wanted to go out and reach these people. So that's how, when image management took out this big advertisement, I got drawn into it, just went and found out the details, signed in, and then of course there was no looking back.
I'm so glad to hear. Samira, why don't you share your experience when the journey started?
Sure, sure. This was about 5 years ago, and I was a senior corporate leader. And I had several opportunities to meet with people in various conferences, in various meetings, etc. And I realized that, you know, a lot of these people who came across and met me, either for interviews or for several business propositions, they weren't really up to the mark, okay? And I'm talking about a lot of people who dressed well, but weren't really dressed well, and they spoke, but they didn't speak very well, etc., etc. You know, and these were the reasons why I felt that, you know, there was a need to help them. Okay, a lot of really bright people in the industry needed help. And when I saw this ad about Image Consulting Business Institute, I was instantly interested in knowing more about it. And the first time when I told one of my friends that I wanted to do this, the friend said that अब तू लोगों को makeup करना सिखाएगी, and my response was that, you know, image consulting is not about makeup. It is so much beyond makeup. And my intent of helping people and the fact that I wanted to make sure that I was able to touch people's lives in some way or the other was my inspiration. And Image Consulting Business Institute put everything into perspective for me. You know, I was always a well-spoken, well-dressed person, but the whole course of image consulting helped me understand the appropriateness and everything about it.
Yes.
So the whole thing was put into perspective.
Yeah, and
right?
we have to break, as image consultants, we have to break a lot of myths, like she said, because people have this misconception that image management is all about your looks.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's not.
Absolutely, and I do recall meeting their spouses as well, and one a corporate honcho and the other one a financial consultant. What were their views? So when you started this journey of image consultancy, so Samira, what was his view, or how did your family support, or what kind of a say they had in terms of your career change?
To be honest, Kavita and Renu, the first reaction of my family was no. You know, from a real estate director in a multinational corporation, you can't be choosing a career which was going to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
First thing. And secondly, something that was totally away from what you have been doing for so many years.
Absolutely.
And whether there's a market for it, right? So that was a big question. But I guess my faith in what I wanted to do and the whole program, the whole curriculum, the way it was presented, I felt that I was at the right place and this was my calling. And when that happened, and my conviction helped my family to support me and believe in me, and today when we all look back, they all feel very happy and confident and feel that, you know, I made a right decision.
Great, so you had them eating out of your hand sooner or later.
That's why I always say that, you know, when I look at Samira, I always end up saying that careers and passions, they met.
Exactly. When you fuse your passion with your career, there is absolutely no looking back. And that's exactly, I think, what's happened to the two of us. We feel energized even after coming back after an 8-hour session. You're kind of energized to do more, to touch more people's lives, and just keep going.
I agree.
So how was your ICBI journey? You know, you started your bit. How was your journey through the curriculum, the certifications, the classroom sessions, the trainings?
It was exciting to be back in the classroom, to be a student all over again, and then sit with people who were ranging from 17 years to 70 years, and then learning from people from diverse cultures and people from the HR industry, engineers, doctors, students, people on a sabbatical, housewives. There was so much to imbibe. And after that, the curriculum, it just put everything in place for me. And slowly and slowly, we were certified, and then it was time to step out and become a consultant on your own. And that is why they say that image management has a science and art behind it. Science, what we were taught at the Image Consulting Business Institute, and art, what we were going to make of it. And we did.
All right. So while we're talking about it, so Samira, your journey and of course the certifications and the curriculums. So do you think the accreditations or the curriculum really helps?
Absolutely it does. You know, the whole curriculum was, like I said, everything was put into perspective. You know, what I thought was appropriate was not appropriate when I came into the course and realized that, you know, wearing chiffons or georgettes to work, which made me look nice when I wore them, wasn't really appropriate.
Was a big no-no.
Big no-no, right? So curriculum absolutely helped, the accreditations absolutely help, the certification helps. People ask you, are you certified? Or, you know, from which body are you certified, etc., etc. So these things are important, and people place a lot of value. The corporates and individuals place a lot of value on the fact that you are certified from a renowned institute.
Sure.
Yes. So it absolutely helps.
Right. So correct accreditations, correct certifications, correct support.
Yes.
I think
Absolutely.
goes a
All
long
along.
way
Absolutely.
in terms of a support there. Brilliant. You know, you guys are influencers in the market today. You have created a mark for yourself. How does it feel to be empowered with the kind of work you're
Kavita,
doing?
let me tell you, firstly, it's very, very humbling that the number of people, individuals, students and corporates who come out and reach out to you, because today they understand an image can make you or break you. And with any empowerment comes the sense of responsibility and the need to share, and that's exactly what we are doing.
What's your view about it, Samira?
I think it's very fulfilling and gratifying. You know, there is a lot of money in this business. I'll be honest, you know, we're all here to do the business,
Yes.
you know.
The bottom line is always there.
Bottom line
Yes.
is that, and we are making money, and there is a lot of money here, but money is a byproduct of good work, right? So I think what I like about it is the fact that there's a lot of fulfillment and satisfaction when you do good work with your clients, either one-on-one or corporates, and they come back and say, look, I got that promotion, or I got that date, or I did well, and you know, my marriage is fixed, etc.
Your day is made.
You know, so you feel extremely fulfilled, and you feel that you're doing something really worthwhile, changing people's lives, touching people's lives, and actually helping them. So I think that's really what keeps me going.
You know, may I say that is why we say when we talk about image management, it is not corrective. We are not trying to correct you. We are trying to connect you to your next role and goal.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Very, very well said.
You know, they always talk about 4 pillars under the head of image consultancy, which is to do with corporate trainings, one-on-one consultings, workshops, and personal shopping, right? So, highlight a little bit, Samira, on corporate trainings, the kind of market we have today. Do you think that's a great revenue generation source in terms of, and do you think there is a need of corporate training?
Absolutely. Every single corporate needs us.
I'll take a little liberty here in convincing Samira to talk about certain clients here. May not be the names, but yes, what kind of industry are we talking about, and what kind of a work you've been doing in corporates?
Sure. So I think industries range from IT to banking, financial services. There are, you know, retail companies, and really big ones, mid-size, all kinds. And all of these companies, my latest experience has been that please come and teach our employees and our teammates to look good, behave well, and communicate better.
Absolutely.
And teach them how the soft skills can be practiced at work. It could be conflict management, time management,
Interpersonal
leadership skills, interpersonal skills, all of that. And I think companies are placing a lot of value on these things, that these things are absolutely critical today, that all their teammates, employees must learn how to, you know, practice all of these things, and make sure that their personal brand speaks and the company's brand is also presented well.
Because they are an extension of the brand of the company, you know. If everybody gets empowered personally, the company automatically gets empowered.
Correct.
So that is what we are looking at.
Swapping from the corporate training front to one-on-one consulting here. So Renu, you've been doing a lot of one-on-one consultancies. people, of course, there is a myth in the market that people do not hire image consultants for one-on-one consultancy. Do you agree with that?
Not at all. I think anybody and everybody needs image management, provided you have the hunger to learn. That is the most important thing. That is something we cannot feed into you. But image management is not only for the rich and the famous or people in the metros. Everybody today, even the lady working in your house, needs to know how to manage her image, and you can work at it. We have people from diverse areas, ranging from the CEO of a company to drivers, down to chauffeurs of a company, and it is extremely satisfying to be able to converse at their level.
Correct.
To infuse the need in them for image management, and set it up with examples that they can relate to their life, and then take it on from there. So image management is the need of the hour, if you ask me, because it's all about 360-degree development.
You just mentioned about the maid, right?
Yes.
So I'll share an example.
Sure,
okay?
please.
So I had a maid, and she's been with me for 3 years, and from the time she joined me and to now, her image is completely
Changed.
transformed.
Yeah.
Okay, and she was standing with me at the elevator, and my neighbor walked in and said, "Well, is she your daughter?"
How
I
sweet.
said,
I think that's something.
I took it as a compliment. I said, well,
Compliment.
she isn't. My daughter's in the boarding, but she works for me and she's my maid.
I hope she's not being poached.
No, so what he said was the best part. He said, "Well, my God, can you do image consulting for my maid?"
See, but charity begins at home. We can talk big, but if we can't begin at home, it's of no use. When we do corporates and we touch all kinds of corporates day and in the evening, we realize that people at the top level are definitely getting some training, but it's the people who are at a slightly lower level who need to begin on this, and there is a huge market for that. Absolutely huge. All those image consultants, budding image consultants who are listening to this, please keep your mind, eyes and ears open, okay? Because there is so much work that if you get down to it, you cannot handle it.
In fact, a little observation which I had since I've been handling the corporate training desk as well, primarily I noticed that from an individual desire to get a one-on-one consultancy, there is a huge shift to corporates asking for one-on-one consultancy for their own employees.
Absolutely.
Could be for bigger leadership roles, could be for enhancing and developing the employees of their own companies. So a lot of work is happening on that. Workshop becomes another area where a lot of image consultants have been focusing on. I remember and I recall when we were kids, we would do something like painting classes and cooking classes. No longer. Things have changed to the extent that I've been asking for image consultants giving workshops to my own daughter. So would you like to highlight a little bit on the workshop bit, Samira? What is the kind of workshop which is really being talked about, and is there enough work, enough scope there?
So are we talking about the open workshop?
Absolutely.
Okay. So open workshops are a great way to actually reach out to people who do not have access to either personal coaching or people who do not get these coachings in their corporate organizations. So when you do open workshops, you're actually reaching out to so many people and inviting them to make sure that they can come over to these workshops and learn the life skills that we impart, right?
It's amazing, yes. You see the education sector, when they invite you, it's amazing to see that being in the education sector, they still need the help of image consultants to round off the students.
That's right. Absolutely. And that's why, I've done assignments with Amity University, with Jindal, with and I'm sure you have done
doing
plenty.
the same, plenty of them.
So you go beyond the open workshops, and we're now talking institution workshops. But open workshops absolutely have worked very well for me. I've done one recent workshop and where I had a lot of people from diverse backgrounds who came forward to learn how to sell well, how to sell like a pro. But I was amazed to see what backgrounds they came from.
Everybody, see, the first thing is you have to sell yourself. You may be selling any product, but you have to learn to sell yourself, and everybody needs to know the art of selling themselves before they sell the product.
Correct.
And every organization needs that. On that note, I would like to share an example with you. You know, it shifted from one-on-one to corporate training, so I just thought I'll take this on.
Absolutely.
I was training the vice president of a multinational firm on a one-on-one basis. And after the sessions, he was absolutely delighted. But let me tell you that the initial sessions were a little intimidating, because even the way tea was served to me was all about image. What tea would I like? Would I like Twinings? Would I like green tea? Would I like a cup of white tea? And if I said green tea, it would be that do you want it strongly brewed or mildly brewed or lightly brewed? And it came to me in the most fascinating carafe with a mug with 3 colored sand timers and said, ma'am, if you want it mildly brewed, you know, when the orange sand gets over, that's when your tea is ready to be served. So shifting from there, this gentleman said, listen, we've done well. And by the way, he got promoted to the next level. And he said, why don't you train our company right from scratch? And he took me to meet the grassroots people, you know, people who were supporting the company, the chauffeurs, the ground level staff. And he introduced me as an image consultant.
Lovely.
And people out there thought I was from the X-ray company, that I had come to take their X-rays. So that is how image consultancy was thought of a few years ago. And once we got started, my God, there was no stopping to their learning. And in fact, it put me to shame to know that how much these people want to learn and want to imbibe from us. So that journey from traveling from a CEO to absolutely the chauffeurs and the ground level staff was humbling, was amazing, because you learn to handle different people in different genres with different styles, different examples, different language, and I think that truly is the work of an image consultant.
That's absolutely true. Not leaving even personal shopping at bay, because a lot of people feel that do people really hire image consultants for personal shopping? Let's throw a little light here.
Yes.
What does you say, Samira?
They absolutely do, and I can give you one example that, you know, I have one of my clients who says, well, here's the money, please do the shopping for me. I have no clue what colors I should wear, how should I combine them, what I should be buying, etc., etc. So I do all the shopping for my client. Okay, he doesn't even accompany me. He says, I trust you.
Yes.
Sure.
Just buy it for me.
Plenty of NRIs who want to do
So
that.
that's how it is. But having said that, there are people who want to accompany you, come along with you and want to make sure what looks good on them. So you advise them on what looks good as per the body shape, what colors they should choose so that skin color gets accentuated, and how should they combine things, and what's an inspiration piece, and what does it do to your
how do you form a cluster, how do you make use of maximum clothes.
Yes.
But people are becoming absolutely aware of it, and more people reach out. I'll tell you what, it is something like when gyms open in the country, people, just the rich and the famous, used to go to a gym. But sooner or later, it's percolated. Like the other day, my driver came late and I said, what happened? And he said, there was a long queue at the gym. So it's for everybody. Everybody wants to remain fit. So it's the same thing. Everybody wants to look and feel good. And that is why we image consultants are here, because what you think is what you feel, is the way you dress, and is the way people respond to you ultimately.
Absolutely. While I'm talking about this, and let me tell you, the two image consultants who are with me today, they have a forte of not intimidating people, and they ensure that people find value in the services. Very important. And that is the reason why they have a variety of client set, which goes from even a bus driver level to a CEO level. That's where it is. Talking about strengths, talking about one challenging event you had or one challenging training you did for anybody, if you would like to share with all of us.
I'll talk about my strengths, since I already shared experience. My strength is that I can network with anybody from any walk of life, and along with that I have developed the art of listening not only to what they are saying in their words, listening to the words that they are not saying, listening and reading between the lines, and listening to their body language. Because Like we say, people even listen with their eyes. So this is what I feel has been my main strength, because listening allows me not to react. I can respond correctly to the needs that they have put across to me. So that is my strength. And Samira, let's hear some of our other.
Samira, let's hear that.
So I would totally agree with Renu, and because any consultant, any good coach must have deep listening skills, and I think I also am blessed with that. I've also worked on it.
Yes, we all have
so
to.
I wasn't born with it, so we worked on it, and I have decent listening skills, so the deep listening skills where you comprehend the message, absorb it, and you're able to understand the complete message and not just what is being said. But apart from that, I think I have extremely good questioning skills.
Wonderful.
Okay, and that I think is extremely important for a good coach.
Absolutely.
Or a consultant.
Because only when you
ask the right
listen,
question,
yes, only when you
right
listen can you
answer.
get the questions right.
So, this is what I learned when I was going through my life coaching program, that if you do not ask the right question, you will not get the right answer.
Brilliant.
So I think that has really worked well for me, and it continues to do, and I have developed that skill. And then I think one of the strengths that I have is also my interpersonal skills, my
Sure.
people skills. So like Renu said, I can also connect with any age group.
Sure.
So I have a client who's 11-year-old, and I have a client who's 70-year-old, and I have clients in between.
But that is the strength let me tell you, we are also taught this strength at the Image Consulting Business Institute. Firstly, because you're studying with a group of people from different walks of life.
Sure.
Secondly, the curriculum prepares you to meet any kind of client, and like Kavita said, not intimidate the person. So you have to either come down to their level or go up, and that is where your strength lies.
Absolutely.
Bang on, bang on. So listening skills and questioning skills is the mantra of the day.
The combination.
Yes, the combination which works in terms of transforming people inside out. It's very easy to say. These ladies are doing a phenomenal job. It's easy to say, but let me tell you, they're putting a lot of effort to balance work and home. How much does it take to balance the two? Come on, Renu. Let's hear it from you.
I would say it's a cakewalk. At times it's pretty difficult because you have commitments in your professional life and commitments at home, and you can be reduced to tears. But like we said, if your passion fuses with the work that you do, you bear it all, And when you start working, and when I started working in the Image Consulting Business Institute, and of course taking sessions over there, learning from them, my children used to laugh. I used to come home and do the assignments, and they thought this is the time to get mom, because she's sitting on the other side of the table, and they say, hey, don't go off to sleep, you need to finish your assignment, you need to prepare for the corporate. And it's not easy doing everything together, but it all works out, and that is another strength. Time management is a super skill that we all need to build to maintain a work-life balance. And it's happening, and we're doing it pretty beautifully. I think most image consultants, in fact, I would say the same about a lot of ladies out there. They are managing it beautifully. What say, Kavita? You are doing the same?
I guess we're all trying to balance it out. I always find working from home and otherwise an entrepreneurial role, it's more challenging, more difficult than each one of us who's doing a 9-to-5 job.
The doorbell rings, you need to step out no matter what you're doing. And a kid is crying, you need to attend to that. So it's okay, it's better to be out. And image consulting is actually preparing us for both the roles and handling it beautifully so far. And I'm sure all the image consultants coming up are going to do the same.
How's your balance here at home? I know.
Balance. I think as of today, because both my daughters are grown up and they are, sort of settled, so I won't say I have a lot of challenges, but because I work out of my home and I have an office at home, it becomes challenging.
So you don't open the doorbell when it rings? I mean, open the door?
Like you said, I don't have a choice, so I do have to go and open the door to see who's there, and a lot of times it's probably not what I want.
Yeah.
When I'm in the
Suddenly
middle of
looking
something.
for a bill. Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am, it's time to pay up the monthly bill.
Right. So those are the times when I think I should have an office outside. but I'm managing, and there are expectations. There's family, and they say, well, you're in your own business, so you can take out time. You can come here, you can do this, and you can do that.
I think being an entrepreneur is even tougher. Because 24/7, even when you are away from it, you are thinking about your clients, what are you going to do next. But that is also the excitement of being an entrepreneur, and I'm glad I'm one.
No, that's good. I mean, I'm not saying I'm unhappy, but yes, I do miss the time when I was the director in a multinational company, and I would say, you do the printing, you do the contract, you do this, and when everything is ready, I would just review it and say, okay.
Yeah, I know.
But today I'm the clerk, and I'm the boss, right? So you have to do everything.
You're seeing both the ends of it, and
Yeah.
you can appreciate the other side a lot more.
Yeah,
It's just that, and you have the monies too.
Yes, yes. We have the monies too, but
I'm
we
not
work for
complaining.
it, okay?
I'm not complaining
Absolutely.
at all. I'm not
Absolutely.
complaining. I don't have to
Absolutely.
work for somebody I don't look up to.
I don't have
you
a
know? So
boss
I'm
to-
the boss of my life, and I'm happy with that. And I can control the quality of work that I'm delivering,
And
which wasn't the case
Sure.
earlier. Because
Absolutely.
you have your peers and you want a certain level of quality that doesn't come sometimes. And here I can control the work quality.
Samira, when you
completely.
do good work yourself, you expect people around you also to do good work. And believe me, they actually get down to doing it because they know they are following an example who's doing good work.
Yeah.
So
Great to hear that. So we have a lot of, if we look around, there's a huge scope of image consulting as a career, as an industry we look at. Talking about, Samira, so talking about the scope of the industry plus extending it to, what are the kind of tips you would give to the budding image consultants?
Budding image consultants, okay, so I do that when I take their sessions as well.
Yeah.
I keep telling them that two things are extremely important, and these are: do your homework well, know your product extremely well, know what you're talking about, learn your product
Sure.
very, very well. Second thing, don't lose hope. Okay, so there will be many times that people will say no to you. It's okay. I have heard a lot of no's. That's all right.
you know how to handle it. Once you get to hear that no, next time you know how to handle it better. And remember, like Samira is saying, every business has a gestation period. So don't get disheartened. And along with what she's saying, may I add that learn, never become complacent about your knowledge. Okay? Be humble. Humility goes a long way. And of course, every business has a resource. You are the resource of your business. So begin with yourself. Walk the talk. Create the right first impressions. That's how work is going to come to you. Because like our tagline at ICBI says, you never get a second chance to create the first impression.
Absolutely.
So remember, N-O no means K-N-O-W, which means if somebody says no to you, they need to know. So you need to tell them, make them aware. And no means no, and K-N-O-W means maybe, and maybe means yes. So don't give up hope, keep at it, keep going, and you will get it.
That's when your skills come in handy. How you handle the client, how you handle the corporate, or how you handle the individual. That's when your skills
Do you
come in
think
handy.
that is important for the aspiring ICs? We have a lot of image consultants who are aspiring to be one, a part of the certification programs.
Wonderful.
So I think that would take them a long way, those tips which were given by both of you.
We teach at the Image Consulting Business Institute also, and we see so many students day in and day out. Let me tell all those people out there, firstly, find out your own strengths. Begin working in areas which are your core strengths, and then follow it up. Don't give up, like Samira said. Network, meet people, and of course, your knowledge is the most important thing, because till you are confident about your knowledge, you are not going to be able to transfer it to somebody. And this line is all about making the other person comfortable, and transferring the knowledge that you have in a language that he or she can understand. So learn to speak the language that the people want to hear, and that is what is going to make you a success.
Well, that is big.
One thing more I want to
Yeah,
add.
please.
Brilliantly said. I think that just two things you need to wear every single day before you go out and network and meet people. One is wear your confidence,
Yes.
and two, wear your smile.
And Samira, to that I'm going to add, each one of us is looking to be successful today, be it anybody. Remember one thing, success has two steps. You have to perform when you get a chance, right?
Absolutely.
And the performance is only going to come if you have the knowledge, if you've imbibed what has been taught to you. But before that, something else has to happen. You must be given that chance to perform. And that is what we are preparing you as image consultants, giving people that chance to perform and take it on from there. So if you are not getting what you want to get today in life, you have nobody to blame but yourself. The only limitation in your mind, the only disability is your attitude. Just change the attitude, see it in a different perspective, and things are going to work for all those wonderful students whom we train. And believe me, we have a lot of learning coming from you, because you teach us so many things that we never learned when we were students. What say Samira?
Totally agree, because every student that we teach, every client that comes across is an inspiration, truly.
Because the learning
Yes,
curve. That's the learning
And
curve.
I think real life experiences with common people like you and me is what inspires us. We see their needs and we create to fulfill their needs, the niche that they are looking for, and come up with beautiful answers which not only satisfies them, but in the end we are also satisfied because we've been able to transfer something of value to the other person.
That's correct.
So the magic word still says inside out. Transformation is what we're looking at. Great, phenomenal. It has been a wonderful last 20 minutes, 25 minutes. A great session interacting with both of you. One of the most experienced in the industry. Ladies who've actually not taken the traditional career path, or rather I would say diversified into a non-traditional career paths. Ladies who've created a unique space for themselves. Ladies who've actually created a niche and transformed multiple people in a very, very the positive and the progressive way. Wonderful meeting both of you. Thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you,
out the
Kavita.
time.
And
It's
Samira, it's been a pleasure as usual. Three of
Thank you
us.
so much.
Wonderful.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Great.
Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Thank you.
And I'm
Bye-bye.
also glad to say that ICBI actually is at the forefront to make a success story for
Absolutely.
each one of them
Absolutely.
and multiple, many more out there.
We're looking for all those people who are going to come to us, and ICBI, actually, I wanted to thank them. Really, it's been a wonderful journey. Never expected so much, because even when we began, we thought image management,
Yeah.
but it encompasses so much
Yeah.
that I am learning every day.
I absolutely agree. So thank you ICBI, and thank you Kavita and the whole team.
Yes, thank
It
you
was
so much for
wonderful
having
chatting
us.
with you.
So wonderful. More
And
power
good
to
luck
each
to
one of you. This is
everyone.
Kavita Bhalla signing off until next time.
Thank you. This is
Yes.
Renu, Mehra.
Bye-bye.
Bye.